It won't take you long after you search the name Akash Singh that you realize that his wife has probably tainted his reputation forever. The type of damage that a disrespectful wife can really inflict on any man who's not drinking coffee is seriously unmatched. This commenter here says, bro, I hope you address the Akash situation. Want to hear your thoughts on it. Shout out to all my subscribers. I'm glad to be back. I want you guys to look at the way this first article is titled. Who is Akash Singh? His wife, Ghislaine, amid viral Myron Gaines feud. This title is obviously written like somebody's being introduced to Akash Singh and who he is and his reputation, what they should know him for the first time. Hold on. Miss Coffee. We're going to talk to our AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee. If this was someone's first introduction to Akash Singh, what are the list of things they would be hearing about him for the first time that would set the framing of how they should view this very sad man and situation?
If this article is someone's first introduction to Akash Singh, this is the picture being painted. This is what they're hearing about him before they ever hear a joke, a clip, or his voice. They're hearing that he's a married man whose wife went viral for joking about wanting to sleep with another woman's husband.
Damn.
They're hearing that his wife publicly revisited her college hookup years in a way that made people uncomfortable, not reflective. They're hearing that these stories weren't told as regrets or lessons, but as casual, almost proud oversharing, while married. They're hearing that Akash's name is trending because of wife-related controversy, not comedy. They're hearing more about his marriage drama than his career. They're hearing that he's being introduced to the public as the husband of the woman who said, instead of as a man with accomplishments of his own. They're hearing the internet question his self-respect, boundaries, and masculinity. They're hearing people debate whether he's aware, embarrassed, numb, or just powerless. They're hearing that his wife appears more comfortable going viral than protecting her husband's image. They're hearing ridicule wrapped in sympathy, and that's the most dangerous combination for a man's public perception. They're hearing a story that frames him as reactive, not respected. And without anyone saying it directly, they're being taught one quiet thing. This is a man the internet feels comfortable talking down on before they ever learn who he is. That's the framing. That's the damage.
That's why first impressions matter. You heard it from yourself from Miss Coffee. And it gets worse if you go to YouTube. There are like countless videos. I'm late as hell, but I'm sure people are literally like, hey, could you give your take on this crazy situation? This is the most embarrassing thing that could happen to any man out here. And the fact that Akash Singh at some point interviewed Myron, and of course, I've told you guys there are things that I disagree with that Myron has shared, but he's right about a lot of things when it comes to dating and relationships. When I look back to that podcast, the way that Akash Singh presented himself was like he's the respected family man, when the reality is no man that I know would want to be in his shoes, especially right now.
The idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup, incredibly offensive. I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because I don't want to lose all my money. But then if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. I would literally call off the wedding.
You would have called off the wedding if I asked you to sign a prenup?
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
That's the thing.
I'm a feminist.
That's what we code it as, but you're a sexist. It's
Whatever.
Giving sexist.
You're already not being generous. As a man, you're already not being generous, and I feel like men should be generous.
And what should women do?
Be spoiled.
You know what's really gross about this video right here? And of course, you knew I was going to cover this particular video for sure. What's really gross is the fact that she thinks this is cute. She thinks this is cute. And the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and even some men, is there are men out here who don't like being in the type of situation where you're the dumb husband who's just walking ATM. Oh, she gets everything she wants, blah, 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 blah. They don't want that. I've said this plenty of times. People sit there and go like, whoa, this person is such a good guy and he's so nice. Why do people not respect what he has? Respect is earned. Men typically respect something that's either hard to get, like a long-lasting marriage where your wife respects you and is not humiliating you, or something that they want. My point here, guys, is that there's no shortage of men in marriages in the position of someone like Akash Singh. What you sure? You saying that you don't care if your wife is happy? Of course not. My point is there are people out here who look at someone like Akash Singh and will say, why aren't men following a man like this when it comes to what they value in relationships, in marriage? And it simply comes down to they don't want to be in his position. They don't. And I'm not saying you should want to be in my position. I'm saying people have a hard time accepting that. And for a lot of men out here who have an ounce of self-respect still left somewhere inside of them, this situation will be literal hell. It'll be like the worst type of marriage I could end up in. That's what guys who are looking at this, pointing and laughing, are thinking. A part of me actually thought this was a promotional attempt for her podcast until I saw this. Quick shout out to the sponsor of this channel, fathershaverights.com. Dad thought kindness would count for something. He paid her bills, paid her car, and even covered her rent. But when the system reviewed his paperwork, they did not see his sacrifice. They saw his income. In fact, his child support doubled. And the father who had done everything right walked out of court that day feeling like a criminal for caring too much. Think of how many dads would have made a different decision if they knew ahead of time how the system really works. That's why fathershaverights.com is creating the custody prep guide for men, presented to you by expert attorneys to help fathers know what to do, what not to do, and how to protect themselves at every step of the custody process. Click the link pinned to the top of the comments. Join the waiting list for the custody prep guide for men.
Yeah, that was probably the best.
What do you guys say? Some people say this is a whole PR stunt for you to sell tickets and for you to
Who is that?
gain popularity.
I would rather it be a PR stunt. Yeah.
I would love it. Is that a narrative?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that now you're.
I saw a couple videos of saying it's like a very strategic PR stunt.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I wish I cared that little about my wife's reputation.
Yeah.
I wish.
Same.
This is just sad. This is just sad. It's just sad. Because if this wasn't a promotional attempt, if that's the case, at least you can blame it on like, this was a terrible idea to promote yourself in this way. No. She was just being herself. She's like, this is who I am. No, there's no end goal to this. I've been doing this, embarrassing my husband just because I'm being me.
This coffee smells like shit.
Now, here's my question to you here before we move on. How many of you believe that if Akash did actually have a prenup, she's bragging over here about how she would ask for a prenup and she would take it as incredible disrespect if he asked for one. My question to you is, do you really believe that if he had a prenup, she would be as disrespectful, nonchalant, not thinking twice about how this affects him? This is going to sound so effed up, but I'm just going to say it. I think the only reason she may actually regret all this, I'm not talking about feeling bad for maybe hurting his feelings. No. I'm talking about she actually may regret all this. And she may realize, this is affecting my money. This might be affecting my future alimony checks, and I can't have that. I can't have that. No, I don't wish that on him. I don't wish divorce. I don't wish divorce on anybody unless if you're like in extreme abuse and you know it's just horrible. But I do think that that's where the regret's coming from. You know what she cares about. You've seen the bragging. You've seen what's been happening so far. I came to this point, this timestamp, based on a short that I saw. I haven't watched this whole thing. I do know that most people have kind of looked at the way they covered this and have thought that because there's so many videos where I've heard so many takes, I didn't have to watch the whole thing. But most people think that they were not being genuine in this reaction on Flagrant.
Well, guys, it finally happened. We witnessed a 40-year-old man get destroyed in real time by his wife on his very own platform.
I can't imagine what you've been going through the last few weeks. Tell us what's been on your mind,
Dude,
what's been on your heart.
I'm so glad you asked me, man. It's been really hard for me.
Hard for you?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Jocelyn Singh is in the building! She wants vengeance!
All while his so-called friends sat around and joked and laughed at his expense right to his face.
What is loud? What was that?
It smells.
No, but for real, you got a stink dick husband sleeping on the floor. like, what's wrong with you, man? Like,
And when I say that this is the most
Yo, Akash is over there. Like Akash is the dude in the group who doesn't realize people are laughing at him, but he's laughing along. You know, he's just like, ha, ha, we do this all the time. It's what we do.
painful podcast I've ever had the displeasure of watching, I really do mean it. Watching this hour-long episode was like witnessing the carcass of a broken man taking several more shotgun slugs to his dome to finish off what was left of his manhood.
Damn.
I mean, this shit was up there with Old Yeller. Now, as you guys know, Akash was completely dismantled by the internet for the last 30 days, and it was all at the hands of his wife, who would simply not stop talking. This public revelation into his personal life left our Indian friend exposed, so much so that upon his return to the big stage, he had to start his set by addressing the ridicule online.
These narratives, you will call your wife a gold digger, all these other things, it's a shitty thing.
So Akash and his wife Jasleen both come onto his podcast on an attempt to answer the burning questions from the people of the internet. And I really do think that I finally found the perfect occupation for this woman, as she can 100% teach a crash course on professional
Check this out. How to gaslight simps. Hilarious.
gaslighting. I mean, she literally has an excuse for everything that she said to tarnish this man and their relationship, and all of it really leads right back to Akash, turning the whole thing around on him like he is the sole reason why this all happened. First, she speaks about the popping it wide open for her roster of white frat boys.
I thought it was just like dancing, getting dressed up, and maybe that was my mistake. Jen, have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like two guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same.
Come on, dog. Look at her face. She's lying. She's lying. She's lying.
Same time. That's it.
It would be hilarious to come in here and find out you had a huge roster and was lying about being a virgin this whole time. It would have been
Wait. Did she hold on a second. Miss Coffee, did Akash Singh's wife claim to be a virgin and continued to push that claim after everything she said?
Yes. She publicly claimed to be a virgin and kept that claim going, even after making statements that directly contradicted it. That's why people aren't just reacting to what she said. They're reacting to the inconsistency.
No.
On one hand,
bro.
she positioned herself as someone who was sexually reserved. On the other hand, she later spoke openly about past sexual experiences in a way that made that earlier claim fall apart. And that's the part people clocked immediately. Not because people care about her past, but because you don't get to build one image, benefit from it, and then casually demolish it yourself and expect the internet not to notice. That contradiction is what made the situation explode. And by extension, it's what pulled Akash into the blast radius.
What? Akash believes that she was a virgin. I'm speechless. So Akash believes that she is a virgin still. Guys, if I'm wrong, blame Miss Coffee.
Miss Coffee here. We do not know what Akash believes privately. What we do know is this. She publicly claimed virginity at one point. She later made statements that directly contradict that image. Akash has not publicly corrected, clarified, or addressed the contradiction himself. So anything about what he believes would be speculation. And that's actually part of why this blew up. When a public contradiction happens and the husband stays silent, the internet fills in the gaps. Not because it's fair, but because silence in moments like this is interpreted as one of three things. He believed it. He knows and accepts it. Or he's choosing not to challenge it publicly. Which one is true? Only Akash knows.
Only Akash knows. Well, we know too, let's be honest.
It would have been heartbreaking for you. Yeah. You know, you waited your
So it was clear to me within the first 5 minutes that she was going to play the naive card.
Damn.
And it only gets worse when she talks about why she so often looks disgusted as she dodges the affectionate attempts of a broken Gandhi.
always duck his kisses when there are not people around?
No, not when there aren't people around, just when there are people around. And I never even
That's
knew.
worse.
I never. It's like
That hurt him. Like he looked hurt.
the repressed Indian girl thing where it's like I get a little bashful, I do get a little shy, despite what the internet thinks.
So let me get something straight. She claims to be too shy to give the guy a peck on the lips in public. Her own husband, by the way. But then she's also comfortable to say publicly that she wants to experience all 10 inches of her best friend's husband.
I just know that Nav's is like at least 10 inches.
Now make that one make sense.
Well,
So, yeah.
can we settle something for the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will you kiss Akash right now?
Okay, prove everybody.
But it's gonna mess like
Bring that ass over here. Bring that ass over here.
Oh man. Oh, this is all bad. This is all bad. This is all bad. He's gonna pay for that. He's gonna pay for that.
It was overstimulating. It was overstimulating.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Akash, could this moment be any more embarrassing? I mean, she still did not want to kiss that man till this day. And she continues to blame things like her overstimulation, her OCD, and not understanding simple phrases that she is using frequently in her videos. Like, black man, can you please explain these to me?
I was like, no, this is like, I think even therapeutic for us. Like,
I
go
feel like,
spend
yeah,
that.
it would almost like teach me like a little bit of exposure therapy. I mean, now probably not, but like in
Not
the
definitely
beginning,
not.
try like, oh, it teaches your brain like, okay, this is safe. I can do this activity.
And look, I totally get that Flagrant is a comedy podcast, but damn, Andrew spent a lot of time laughing at his best friend's expense.
Whole life to share your virginity with a girl, and she threw it to some frat house in 20 years
A
ago.
white dude.
A white guy. white guy.
Never.
Got that shit. Got that shit. I would watch the videos and I would die laughing. As a friend who loves him, I would die laughing.
And the funniest thing has to be when they are literally playing in her face, and she takes their line of questioning totally serious.
Which frat party should my daughter avoid? I have a 2-year-old daughter. Which frat party should she not go to?
Shy should avoid Teak. Because they definitely... Why?
Basically, I don't think that anyone there on that couch outside of Akash was buying her bullshit. But still, they just sit there and smile with their fake-ass laughs and their Men's Warehouse suits. And they even have the audacity to all promote their live shows during this catastrophe of a podcast.
I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm also going to Chicago, Hoboken, New Jersey, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, listen, it's very obvious that Akash here knows that he's kind of ruined his reputation. Not kind of ruined his reputation, but like every man wants an amount of respect. And a large percentage of that has just been lost.
Washington, D.C.
And I feel like every once in a while, Akash kind of did start to let his true feelings out. Like trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm totally in on the joke.
So simple and easy. And that's more what I was talking about.
And now everybody thinks you're a gold digging.
Yes.
That's my wife for the time being. We're adding shows all over the place. Thank you guys for helping me support my gold digging wife.
It's brown sugar, ghee, and flour, like mixed together.
Yeah. She's actually made it non-cooking.
Really?
This useless bitch.
Which is like Punjabi brown meat.
What's on the internet was right about everything.
No.
Gold digging woman.
Oh.
But it's pretty damn obvious that he is reeling inside. And that the past 30 days have been a torturous experience for him.
Right.
I mean, the guy looks like he's aged 10 years in the last 30 days. There's also this really weird thing that he kept doing with his tongue.
Me one. But don't let me get other.
One of our fans asked,
There's nothing worse than being in a relationship with a man who gets caffeinated, who finally realizes the truth. You know what I'm talking about. While he's in a relationship with you, oh man. This definitely was an introduction to coffee for Akash.
He also kept doing that Kanye meme where he goes from laughing hysterically to the most bold-faced expression you've ever seen.
Oh, he's effed up.
Women are big on pheromones.
Yeah, there is a way that just kept you in.
And honestly, I can't tell if he's more pissed off at the ringleader Andrew or his wife herself, because both are equally making a joke of his trauma while he literally looks shell-shocked. And you can see the anger with both on display here when they discuss her lust for her best friend's husband, also known around town as the Hammer.
Nah, but Akash wants the dude.
the dude.
Yeah. You think he can handle all 10 inches of Nav? You think you can take Nav down? Shout out Nav, bro.
Yes.
Shout out Nav, you home wrecker. Okay, what the was that joke? Because
once again, she simply plays the, oh, I'm just the naive, sheltered Indian innocent girl narrative.
Yeah,
I feel like for us, I think I learned so much of my humor from Akash.
Stop it. I'm out. She's over here trying to infantilize herself, and it's not working. It's not going to work. Not here on the Coffee Pod. Of course, guys, I'm curious to know what you think. A few comments here. This top comment says his friends wore black for the funeral. Somebody else here added Will Smith stumbled so Akash could fall. Hilarious. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link into the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.